Hey everybody, welcome to episode 12. We don't have anything cool to hold up for episode 12. You're holding up Groot, little bomb Groot. Got a lot to talk about today. A lot has happened since the last time we recorded, but this is episode 12 of the Cheap Pop Show on YouTube. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
Alright, so the first thing is we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Fuck yes!
I thought that movie was amazing. James Gunn did an awesome job with that. The backstory of Rocket was really cool to see.
Yes, it was.
I mean, it filtered through the whole movie. It was kind of the main thing of the movie. I thought it was really, really good. The Marvel movies lately have kind of been hit or miss for me. Like I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It was okay, but Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was really, really good. I like I think the music was a little not as good as the other ones have been, but he had the bigger, MP3 player, so I get they're playing other.
I like that
now.
they did have what the fuck was it? The Beastie Boys song.
Oh yeah, the Beastie Boys song was really cool, but the visuals were really good.
Yes,
and I thought it was a great movie.
It really was great.
One movie that you didn't go see, I went and saw Fast 10.
How was it?
I thought it was good. Jason Momoa kind of went over the top with his character, but I really liked it. He was the main villain. It all ties back to when they stole the safe in Rio de Janeiro. That was the guy's Jason Momoa's father that they stole it from and ended up killing. So it was kind of a revenge story. They're going to do another one. I mean, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the movie, but if you haven't by now, it's been like a month that it's been out. So
right.
I thought it was good. I like the Fast and the Furious movies. I know they've gotten more ridiculous as they've gone on, but I go to movies to have a good time and enjoy it, so I think they're good.
Why not have fun?
Right? And as we were recording this, we went and saw
Spiderverse.
Yes, Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse yesterday. The visuals on this movie are fucking phenomenal.
Yes, they are.
I have never seen animation like they do in these Spider-Verse movies. It is just, it's surreal, and it goes back and forth between like the actual comic book look to a modern look. They threw in movie, like live action, movie parts in it. It was just so good to see all the iterations of Spider-Man that were in that. Even the T-Rex Spider-Man at one point was
They
great.
even showed the fucking video game Spider-Man.
They did. They showed a couple of versions of video game stuff, which I thought was really, really cool. If you like the Spider-Man universe, I think it was really good. Miles Morales is a good character.
Yes.
I was trying to place the voice of the mom for Miles Morales through the whole movie, and then I got home and I realized it was Jennifer Lopez.
Oh.
That's I was like, okay, that finally placed it. When she was talking Spanish, it was like, okay, I hear the voice and I don't know who it is, but it definitely was Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was really good. But there's a lot of movies coming out. We got Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. I do want to see that Elemental Pixar movie.
Yes.
The Indiana Jones movie is coming out.
Fuck yes.
The trailer for Expendables 4 just dropped yesterday. So I think that's going to be really cool.
That.
Yeah, me too.
The one I'm really excited about, Flash.
Yes, The Flash with Michael Keaton as Batman. And
that's the only reason why I'm going to see it is I want to see fucking Batman.
Right, and you've got the Ben Affleck Batman and the Michael Keaton Batman in the same movie, which I think is really cool.
Hopefully they're on screen together. That will be fucking awesome if they're both on screen together.
Yeah, there's so many good movies coming out this summer. I'm really excited, and we'll be talking about all of the ones that we go to.
People, if you're not a nerd, it's the best time to be a fucking nerd.
Yeah, right. First I want to talk about, since we're talking about comic books, this shirt that this man had custom made for me. Venom kind of destroying Spider-Man in a wrestling match, holding up a title belt. What I didn't realize until today is it's not just Venom, it's the Hulk with Venom on him. That's even cooler to me because Hulk is my favorite superhero, so that's even cooler. And of course, you've got your Red Dead Redemption Night of Champions shirt, which I think is really cool. They came out really good.
Yes.
I was worried about that they were going to be pixelated, but they came out really good.
Yes, they did. They did a fantastic job on these.
And speaking of shirts.
Yes.
You've seen us wearing, if you've watched the show, you've seen us wearing our custom shirts with our logos on them. Well, now we have a shop where you can buy our shirts, and this one just came. Cheap freaking pops, a little take off the Seth Rollins logo. I think these shirts come out really good. I got this done on Vistaprint, but our shop is cheappops.redbubble.com. I mean, if you have the Redbubble app, you can just go on that and just search Cheap Pops, and it comes up. I think right when you do it, what comes up first is stickers, but you can go through the categories. We have shirts, we have hats, we have phone cases, all kinds of stuff. If you want to support us, you know, I actually, because I like the way the stickers look, I bought a couple of the stickers just, and some of the money's going to go back to me. So, you know, it's kind of stupid, but that's what I did. And
hey, don't forget, some of that money comes towards me money.
Right, exactly. But we don't expect to make a lot of money off of it, but we want to get our merchandise out there. We think our logos are really cool. Like we have that Cheap freaking Pops one. We have
merchandising.
Yeah, merchandising. We have the regular, the old school Seth freaking Rollins parody shirt. We have a G.I. Joe parody shirt. We have the Double Dare parody shirt, and we got a lot more coming. We kind of want to do a Street Profits kind of parody because we think the C and the P will actually look really cool.
Definitely one parody Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah,
one of our favorite games.
Yeah, we definitely, because I like Vice City, and I think it would be really cool to have a Grand Theft Auto one. So we got a lot more coming, but if you want to support us, you know, even if you buy a sticker and we get 50 cents off of it, you know, we just like, we want people to interact with us and, you know, enjoy the show. We really like our logos, so, you know, we just thought some merchandise would be cool. Actually, I just started, I don't know if you watched this match.
Not yet. I was actually saving it for tonight.
Dijak against Ilya Dragunov from NXT Battleground. We're actually not going to talk about that show because I watched it, but I didn't pay a lot of attention. This is the only match that I actually paid real good attention to. I like Dragunov. His matches with Walter or Gunther now.
Oh, fuck Gunther.
Were really good. And now that they're finally using Dijak, makes me happy.
Finally.
And they're not calling him, I don't even remember what they were calling him.
Oh, jeez, guys, I can't even remember.
Yeah, when he was with Retribution or whatever.
Oh.
What I don't know what they were getting
Mace.
Retribution for. Wasn't Mace was the dude with the dreadlocks. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, now they're calling him Face.
Yeah, or Masse or whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
But Dijak, he looks like a badass. I met him at a Northeast Wrestling show. He's an amazing athlete. He had really good matches with Keith Lee on the Indies and in NXT. So it's really cool that they're finally using him.
And using him to what he can actually fucking do.
Right, and the other match that I'll have playing as well is PCO against Steve Macklin from Under Siege. But before we get into the events that happened over the Memorial Day weekend, an event that we are going to be participating in, Wrestling Classic 3, and on June 17th, Springfield, Massachusetts, presented by Captain's Corner and Zombie Hideout. These are just some of the names. I guess there are going to be some more announced. The headliners, DDP and Kurt Angle, but you've also got the Guns, Eddie Edwards, who was a former Ring of Honor and Impact World Champion, Lex Luger, Devon, Alicia Fox, The Godfather, Marty Jannetty, and Teddy Long. If you get a chance to meet Lex Luger, and especially at something like this, he is one of the nicest dudes ever. I know if you watch like his old stuff, he seems arrogant, and he probably was at one point, but I've met him before, and he is one of the nicest dudes out there, so go meet Lex Luger. But if you're in the Northeast and you're anywhere near Massachusetts, going to this is going to be really good. We're going to have our own table. We're just going to be getting the word out about the show. We've got business cards and flyers to hand out. We're going to be doing a wrestling trivia contest, and just to show you some of the things that we're gonna hand out for prizes, we've got autograph cards, we've got memorabilia cards. We bought some WWE wrestling jewelry. Of course, we got CM Punk and the Rated R Superstar Edge. Comic books. We got wrestling comic books that we're going to be giving away. The autograph cards. We've got a bunch of stuff. We're just trying to get the word out about the show. We want to meet some people, just kind of network. And we thought that the trivia contest would be a fun way to do it. And, give out some stuff. We're going to be giving out free packs of trading cards. We got lots of plans. We got, our cool name badges, which we showed on a prior episode.
Yes.
So I can't wait for this. I can't. We're gonna have to leave at 6 in the morning to get there to set up. I can't wait.
I'm always up at 4:30 every fucking morning.
Right, but all these wrestlers that are gonna be there. What better place to get the word out about our show than a wrestling convention?
Exactly.
So I think it's going to be great. We'll have our banner set up, have our own table. We've got cool stuff to put on the table. We're going to have masks with the display saying masks are not for sale, because last time we did a merch table, people were trying to buy the masks.
Even though that we had the fucking signs on them.
So I'm sure people will still ask about it. So what events did you watch? Did you watch Night of Champions?
Fuck yes.
And I gave you Double or Nothing. Did you watch that?
Hit and miss here and there.
Okay. So I want to talk about Double or Nothing first. What did you think of Double or Nothing?
It was pretty good.
I had a hard time getting through it. It was okay, but for the standards of an AEW pay-per-view, I do not think it lived up.
I was more interested in the Blackpool and whatever Adam Page.
Oh, the Elite event. Yeah.
Yes.
It started out with the Battle Royal. They do way too many fucking Battle Royals. It seems like they do 2 or 3 a month, and it's just. I get that you want to get all the people from your roster on there, but I'm over the Battle Royals. And Orange Cassidy, I'm overseeing him every week. You know, I get that he's got a title belt, but it seems like, and I know Jim Cornette likes to rail against, it's Tony Khan's favorite wrestler, so that's why he's on TV every week. That's fine if you want to hold that view. To me, he's been wrestling a lot more. He's not just concentrating on the fake kicks and all that stuff, and he's not putting his hands in his pockets as much as he was. But it kind of grains on me after a while.
The one I really like more out of AEW is Darby Allin.
Darby Allin's really, really good. And he's starting to talk more, which I think is good for him. And they're not distancing him and Sting, but they're not doing as much as they were before. So I like that. Darby Allin's really good. And I thought the main event was good. Adam Cole against Chris Jericho, the unsanctioned match. It was all right. I mean, Sabu being out there, as the enforcer. He jumped off the top rope through a table to the floor, but you could clearly see that he's in a lot of pain and he doesn't need to be doing that stuff. But I think he's a lot like Ric Flair. He just can't not do it,
He's got to do it.
I think he'll do it. I think he wants to kind of like die in the business. Like he'll do it forever.
Right.
Jericho he couldn't continue and the match was stopped. So I don't know if they're going to keep this going, but I kind of think they're going to line up Adam Cole for a world title shot at some point. And the promos between him and MJF will be good. And I don't, with this Collision show, which we'll talk about, CM Punk is coming back, which is really freaking cool. There's talks that they're going to split up the rosters and that some guys are going to be on Collision and not on Dynamite, which I think is great because they have so many people on the roster.
Yes, they do.
And I hope they do it unlike WWE, where, of course, AJ Styles was just on Raw, a SmackDown. He just got drafted to SmackDown, but he's on Raw doing a match. That's Vince. That's Vince right there.
It is fucking Vince.
And Rhea Ripley is the SmackDown Women's Champion on Raw, and Bianca Belair was the Raw Women's Champion. She got beaten by Asuka, and she's on SmackDown. Just trade the fucking belts.
Oh my fucking god!
Why are you doing this? And you want to talk about the belt now?
Yes. Let's talk about how not creative they are.
Yeah, they are not. They are not creative at all. I posted a picture on our Facebook of a photo from 2011 of all the champions that were.
I did see that.
Yeah, CM Punk with the spinner title, which I never hated the spinner title. I thought it was cool. I actually own one.
I do want to get a spinner belt.
But you had Zack Ryder, who had the U.S. title.
Yes.
Air Boom, which was Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne, had the tag titles. Granted, they are pretty much the same as what they are now, but it was like the copper looking on the black, which I thought looked really cool. Beth Phoenix had the Divas title. What the IC title? I don't remember. But my point is, all the belts looked different.
They were all different.
Daniel Bryan had the world title.
Yep.
And they all look different. Now, granted, right now, the Intercontinental title and the U.S. title look different than the main titles.
But they all look like fucking toys.
They do. They all look like toys, which, I mean, the U.S. title just looks like something that you created on the video game. It's so over the top that it's ridiculous. The Intercontinental title looks like kind of like a flat version of the new world title.
Mm-hmm.
It just I don't like what they're doing with the belts. I mean, the world title that Seth Rollins has now, it looks like the old school big gold, but it has a huge fucking WWE logo in it. If you're watching WWE, you know what the company is.
Exactly.
You do not need to have the logo that big on everything. And plus, didn't you make that mistake with the WWF logo? What happens if for some point, and I'm not saying you're going to get sued, but what if you do and something fucks up? Like Vince McMahon gets in more trouble and you have to change the logo again.
Exactly.
You've completely fucked yourself and you've got to digitize all of those huge logos that you have on your belts. That's going to make it. And another thing, the Velcro.
Oh God.
These guys, is it really that hard to unsnap a belt and to snap it? I don't.
They don't know how to do it.
I just don't. Like, I could understand Andre the Giant needing Velcro because he is so huge. And
they actually did make him a giant fucking belt.
Right. But the Velcro color is so much darker or lighter depending on which belt it is.
And you can see it.
It's so obvious. Just WWE is so ridiculous lately. We were talking about Double or Nothing and we went right on a tangent.
We went right off the fucking rail.
Right. FTR versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett for the tag titles with Mark Briscoe as referee. I loved Mark Briscoe's referee shirt. It had camouflage for the stripes, which is so in character. It was perfect. It was a good tag match. Briscoe did really good as a ref. I don't think he's ever been a referee before, but it was really good. Both Mark and Aubrey Edwards took guitar shots, which I thought was kind of funny. FTR retained the belts, which I expected. I didn't think Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal were going to win the tag titles. They really do need to do something better with Mark Briscoe. He is such a good babyface. If they turn him heel, that's one of the stupidest things they could have done after his brother died and everything.
Exactly.
So, a ladder match for the TNT title, Christian versus Wardlow. Wardlow coming in as champ. It was okay. The gimmick matches for me, they need to do, especially when you knew that a month later was going to be Money in the Bank and they're going to have 2 ladder matches at that show.
Yeah.
I know Tony Khan is a fan of history. It just seems to me like he has no concept of, okay, so it's going to be first, but the Money in the Bank ladder match means more to a wrestling fan than your ladder match is going to mean.
Yeah.
So maybe not do a ladder match. Okay, I get Christian is known for ladder matches. That's cool. But they didn't even have a regular match to set up that ladder match.
No.
I like AEW, but I think Tony Khan kind of goes for gimmick matches just for the sake of gimmick matches and doesn't really think it through. I want to see guys wrestle a couple times before they go in a cage match.
Right.
It just seems like sometimes he throws out stuff just to throw it out. Oh, and here's Dragunov going for a Van Terminator all the way across the ring with the steel steps. We're not really paying attention to the match. I've been catching it a little bit.
Are you sure he's not a coast to coast?
Right. Wardlow did a swanton in the entranceway off the top of a ladder through a table, which was really impressive. The match went way too long. It was way too long, especially with the injuries that Christian has had. I really don't think they should have done it that long. But Wardlow retained. At this point, I was thinking it's only been 4 matches, and this pay-per-view has just dragged. I liked it, but it felt like it went way too long. Toni Storm against Jamie Hayter for the women's title. Lots of interference from the Outcasts. The crowd does not care about the Outcasts. They don't care about Saraya. They don't care about Ruby Soho. They wanted Ruby Soho to stay a good girl and be a babyface. And they had help from Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker. Hayter sold the injury of her shoulder a lot, which I thought was really good. But then Toni Storm ended up winning the title. nobody cares that Tony Storm has won the title. At least I don't. I don't need to speak for everybody, I guess, but it just wasn't. Then you had the House of Black doing an open challenge. Julia Hart looks amazing, looking like Stevie Nicks and just being all spooky on the outside. I'm so glad I got to meet her at one point. I don't know if you went with me for that when she had the eye patch and shit.
No, I was supposed to go with you, but I had to fucking work.
You had to work, yeah, that's right. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass accepted the challenge, and
that was fucking funny because they actually busted on what's his fucking face?
Dominic and
yes,
they made
that was hilarious.
Yeah, his rap was good. It was a good triple, a trios match. But I put in the notes, this pay-per-view just hasn't been great, and the House of Black retained the title. Taya Valkyrie against Jade for the TBS title, the other women's title. It looked so awkward. And at this point, it wasn't just Jade. Like we say, like when we say Charlotte Flair looks awkward. Usually it's just her. But this one, the both of them looked awkward. Jade went 60-0, and then Chris Statlander came out to a huge reaction, and she won an open challenge and beat Jade for the title. So on the other side. Main event number 1, I put the 4 Pillars match. Jungle Boy, MJF, Darby Allin, and holy shit. MJF, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin. Oh my god. I can't think of who their 4th one is. Jesus Christ. It had Sammy Guevara. Jesus, Sammy Guevara, and of course in the entrance.
Oh, that's okay. It's just Guevara.
Right, Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti announced that she's pregnant, and she's going to be off TV for 9 months. That's wonderful. Great moves and counters. It was a fast-paced match, which most 4-way matches are at AEW. Great moves and counters. I mean, they did lots of 4-way stuff. At the end of it, MJF sneaks the world title belt on top of Jungle Boy as Darby Allin's doing the coffin drop on. So, and he ends up pinning Darby Allin, which Jim Cornette made a good point. Wouldn't Jungle Boy have been more hurt taking the coffin drop with the belt on him? But whatever, that's nitpicking more than I do, so.
But they could be leading into something more with Darby and MJF.
Right, and
which would be awesome.
Right, I do agree with Jim Cornette that it should have been MJF and Darby Allin in a singles match all along. I do believe that, but, I'm not, it's not my company, I'm not the billionaire. So, main event number 2, Anarchy in the Arena. They had Violent Idols. I've never heard of this band. They looked stupid. They did a horrible rendition of Wild Thing. I would have rather they had played Moxley's music than do this with this live band. The music went on way too long, and they set up a spot where the Young Bucks super kicked the lead singer. Should have been done a long time before they actually did it.
Speaking of the super kick, should we talk about the fucking super kick in the middle of the ring?
With the exploding Jordans. Yes. I was going to get to that. Matt Jackson super kicked. Was it Kenny Omega? Moxley. Yeah, well, of course it was Moxley. With exploding Air Jordans, and then they took the shoe off, and then they slammed his foot into thumbtacks. I wrote this. Takeshita came in and helped the Blackpool Combat Club win, so apparently he's part of the group now with Don Callis. I ever since Brian Last and Jim Cornette said this, I said, surprise Superhuman, Yuta got the win. Ever since they mentioned that he looks like Superhuman, the guy that does the stunts on Facebook, I cannot unsee Wheeler Yuta as Superhuman. And Yuta's a great wrestler, don't get me wrong, but I cannot get that image out of my head. One of these days, I'm just waiting for him to go, fuck this shit, before he does a move, But like I said, it was hard to get through. To me, it was an underwhelming pay-per-view. See, you can't unsee it now, can you?
No, you can't.
Yeah, see, so...
For my Juggalo,
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Before I get into Night of Champions, would you like to mention what you brought with you?
Yes.
Because I've been talking for a while.
I brought some more of my collection on. 2000 Kane mask.
Yep.
And the old 97 when he debuted.
I do like the way it's set up too, where it has the Velcro and so you can hold it on there. You've got some really cool masks, and those are genuine leather.
Yes,
those are really, really cool.
And like I said, with the other one, all of them all together were $300, $100 a piece for genuine leather mask,
right?
And they came out fantastic,
right? So what games have you been playing lately?
Mostly the new Star Wars game.
Yeah. So what's been good about it?
Oh, great fucking graphics.
Yeah.
A lot more new moves. A lot more open world to it.
Right.
I love the fact that I unlocked this feature last night. Is now that you can throw the double-sided lightsaber and hold it in the air with the force and have it go towards your enemies and hit them.
That's awesome. What new stuff has been happening with the WWE game?
They're going to be releasing another DLC.
Right.
A couple of new people I don't recognize.
Yeah, probably from NXT.
Probably. And I don't know if I think Zeus is going to be in this.
That's cool.
One.
That's cool. Zeus. And we were talking about on the way here to my place to record this that the AEW game is coming out at the end.
Yes! At the end of this month.
Right, and I'm so excited. I'm going to get it on my Switch. Been waiting so long, and we discussed this. People have been bitching about the graphics.
Fuck the graphics.
Exactly.
Who cares about graphics? It's going to be fun. Just have fucking fun with it like the old wrestling games.
I mean, I love games that have cool graphics. Don't get me wrong. But I also we were discussing this. I love No Mercy on the N64. It is my most favorite wrestling game of all time. The graphics are shit, but the Create a Wrestler mode is amazing. The gameplay is amazing. It's easy to play. I'm a child of the 80s. I want games that I can pick up and play. I do not want a full simulation. Like, I saw the new Zelda game, and I saw just the trailer, and I'm like, I would not have fun playing this fucking game. There's way too much involved in playing this game.
One of the games, going back to old wrestling games, is WWF Shut Your Mouth. I love that one.
Shut Your Mouth is a great game.
Fuck yes. Then SmackDown Here Comes the Pain. That was another good one.
That's one you got to pay a lot of money to get Here Comes the Pain.
Yes,
that's one of the most popular ones.
I actually own either one or two copies of it, and it one of them's loose.
Yeah.
And the other one has the actual case itself to it.
Nice.
And I did not. It wasn't a bad price either. I picked it up for like $10.
Well, that's good. Yeah, some people don't know how much it's actually worth. So sometimes like the problem I have now when I go to visit my folks in Florida, the people at the flea markets, some of them are getting smart and they're looking stuff up before they put it on their table. But you get some of these people that just buy games, wholesale or something, and they don't pay attention. Same with the Funko Pops. Like you'll go. There's a lot of tables down in those flea markets that sell Funkos. You can go to one where a guy's charging $40 and another one where he's charging $25. It all depends on who knows what the value of things are. And you know what? I'm sorry, but I'm not going to tell you that it's worth $40. I'm going to buy it for $25.
Right.
Especially when you get like the Comic-Con exclusive ones.
Yes.
But since you showed a few things off, I've got a couple things. I did a Ninja Turtles series where I did mashups of like I did Raphael with Elektra because they both have size. I did Leonardo and Beatrix Kiddo from Kill Bill with the katanas. The only problem is that one fell off of the wall and the frame broke and it like tore it to shreds. The glass tore it to shreds. So I'm actually, but the artist that did it, he is going to redo. He's not going to do that. He's going to do Deadpool and Leonardo. My Donatello and Sandman, which I might have shown at one point. Donatello.
No, you never showed that one.
Donatello blocking a cane shot from Sandman. Sandman signed it, and I had Corey Feldman. Well, I didn't have. My former friend John went to a Comic-Con where Corey Feldman was there, who was the original voice of Donatello from the Ninja Turtles movies. He signed it. So that's one of my prized possessions.
I'm still kicking myself for not fucking getting it, and I should have fucking got it. Was Kane choke slamming fucking Jason.
Yeah,
I should have got them autographed.
You were going back and forth on that.
Yeah, I was, and I'm fucking kicking myself for not getting it.
But these mashups were stuff that came out of my own head, and this is one that I thought was really cool. Wolverine and Shredder.
Yes.
And I like how abstract he when he did the first one, he said, "I'm going to do it with mostly black and white, but with a little bit of color." And I think it pops like that. I think these are really
that looks
cool.
really good.
This one, it's wrestling related and comic related. Well, not comic, movie related. I thought to myself, I was thinking of Why So Serious, and I said to myself,
yes,
you have Lance Storm and the Joker back to back with the Joker saying "Why so serious?" The whole gimmick for Lance Storm was "Let me be serious for a minute."
Yes.
How do you? When that popped in my head, that was something I had to do. This one was by another artist.
Some of those would actually make great shirts.
It might, yeah. This is by Nicole Jelinek. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong. I thought of this. I said Clark Kent, opening up the shirt to expose the Superman logo, but instead of that,
the Punisher.
It's the Punisher flak jacket. And, I'm sure hardcore comic book people might be like, oh, well, that's stupid. I think it looks cool.
It
came out of my head,
awesome.
And it's a reality, so that I'm going to get framed at some point. This one, my two favorites from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Rocksteady and Bebop.
Shit, you know what I forgot to send you? Is somebody... I found it on fucking Facebook. Somebody killed a boar hog and actually made it look like...
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
That's cool. But this I had done at a convention while I was walking around. He did it as a commission. I think it's really cool with, the only color in it is their cigars. So I have that. This I wanted to show. I went to the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. I want to say it was in 2009 maybe, when it was in Amsterdam. And the thing is that you could either get your picture with them or you could get an autograph. And at that point, I wasn't really worried about getting pictures with people, and I should have been. But I wanted to get autographs, especially when I saw this table with all these old school photographs on them. Now, these photographs, you bought the photograph because this guy brought these photographs in of people that were going to be there, and he was selling them. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. So I can get, these photos autographed by the person. First one, Mil Mascaras, a luchador legend. A lot of people hate him, but I thought it was really cool to meet Mil Mascaras. I wish I'd gotten a picture with him. The Lariat Stan Hansen. I think these look so cool. These are such good photographs. This one is kind of timely.
Yeah.
We have to say, rest in peace, superstar Billy Graham. I think this is a really badass photo
it is.
And I have a trading card that I got in a box that I just bought a few weeks ago, and I'm going to get them framed together with this. This is a guy I've always liked. I watch a lot of old AEWA stuff. Nick Bockwinkel.
Yes.
He always had good matches, and he was a really good talker. Well, at least when he was a wrestler. If you ever watch some of his stuff,
he was hard fucking hitting in that ring.
When you watch him in WCW, he used to flub stuff every once in a while, but it was always kind of funny. And George the Animal Steel.
Yes!
I actually saw him almost get killed by Matt Taven. And it wasn't Matt Taven's fault. George the Animal Steel was in Matt Taven's corner, and he was fighting with guys on the outside. Taven went up to the top rope to do a moonsault to the floor. I don't think he saw what position George the Animal Steel was in. He did the moonsault and landed right on top of George the Animal Steel's head.
Oh.
It looked like he had broken his neck, and he got up and he was fine, but it looked really bad. And speaking of looking really bad, look at Steve Macklin. He is bleeding like Eddie Guerrero in 2004. If you see a close-up at one point during this match, this is Steve Macklin against PCO for the Impact World title. He has a gash it looks like it's 4 inches long on the top of his head. Look at that. That looks really, even with the glare on the TV, you can see how bad that looks.
Yeah.
This was a really good, hard-hitting match. It's from Under Siege, Impact Wrestling's Under Siege, which was on the same weekend as Double or Nothing, Night of Champions.
There were so many fucking wrestling shows that night.
The NXT Battleground show was on.
Yes.
it was a really cool weekend if you're a wrestling fan. There's so much going on this summer. You got Money in the Bank coming up in London. AEW has got Wembley Stadium in August.
Speaking of Night of Champions, we never even fucking got into that.
No, we didn't, because I was showing shit off. So, what did you think of Night of Champions?
I was mostly looking forward to one match and one match fucking only. Yes, I know the world title match for you. Me, it was Brock versus Cody Rhodes too. And it lasted longer than their first one.
Right. And they kept saying that Cody had a titanium cast. Like, it looked like a hard cast. It didn't look titanium to me, but whatever.
Michael Cole, are you fucking taking drugs? Fucking Vince McMahon in your fucking ear again?
Right. I mean, they were selling that cast like Bob Orton in the 80s, you know? Like, I mean, the loudest rope break pop I've ever heard for when Cody Rhodes grabbed the rope for the Kimura. Cody ended up passing out. I mean, I hate to say typical Brock Lesnar match, but it's what it was. You know, he's throwing people around. I mean, Cody kind of wrestled a bit, you know, but he wasn't going to get a lot of offense in on Brock. Nobody really does.
No.
But it made Cody look amazing, and
it really did.
I thought it was stupid to not have Cody win the title at WrestleMania, but
it really was stupid,
you know, it's not my company, so I can't, you know. But what they've been doing with him and Brock, I think, has been really good. Cody's always looked really strong. His promos are always really good, so I don't think it hurt him any, but I think it was stupid. You know, you could have still done this bloodline. I think it would have added more fuel to the fire of this bloodline split.
Yes.
If he had lost the title.
Yeah, being like, why weren't you guys there and shit?
Right, exactly.
It would have added more fuel.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I think they want to do this so they can have it where fucking Roman Reigns surpassed CM Punk.
Oh yeah, and he surpassed Pedro Morales. I think he's number 4 on the list of longest reigning champions ever. So, I mean, that's cool for him, and he's been a really good character, and he's done really well.
But come on, enough is enough.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not going to last much longer. The night started off with Rollins against AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight title, which is fucking stupid because AJ Styles was on SmackDown, and he's in the finals for the world title, which is exclusive to Raw. He just got drafted a couple weeks earlier. Vince McMahon, do you have Alzheimer's? Did the brains that you have left in your head grow into the mustache? So you have no brains anymore.
I think a lot of the women sucked his fucking brains out.
Well, you know, they sucked money out of his bank account unwillingly, you know, so. But it was a great, well-paced match. I mean, I knew Rollins against AJ Styles, it was going to be a good match. The crowd in Saudi Arabia was really hot for this show.
Just like it was in Puerto Rico.
Not as intense as in Puerto Rico, but still very vocal. Amazing suplex by Styles onto the apron. They got to stop doing that shit. That looks like it hurts so fucking bad, and it's so unnecessary. Plus, you see it all the time, guys getting hit onto the apron.
Now, yes.
AJ Styles used the pedigree, but Rollins ended up becoming the new world champion. At first, I hated Seth Rollins doing this goofy character, but now I love it. The whole entrance with them singing. Oh, this is a good part right here. Steve Maclin stapling PCO's mouth shut with a staple gun. And you can't say that it's not real because later on, you see PCO peeling the staples out of his fucking lips.
Oh.
He legit stapled his mouth shut. That is fucking amazing. People sleep on Impact Wrestling, and I do not understand.
Right?
Their product is hitting on all cylinders. I love their product.
Especially now.
It really is good, and it pisses me off. Look, he's using pliers to pull out, and you can see it. You can see the fucking staples hanging from his lips.
Oh,
that's if you get a chance to watch this match, PCO against Steve Maclin for the world title, it is amazing.
This guy is fucking tougher than fucking tough.
PCO is a beast. He is a monster, and Maclin's using a real sledgehammer. That's not a Triple H fake sledgehammer. No. That is a real sledgehammer right there. Boom!
Right to the fucking head, too.
Yep. And look at it bounce. Like, that's a real sledgehammer. But back to Night of Champions. Becky Lynch against Trish. Trish looked very awkward. I think a lot of these legends, they need to get some ring time in, even if it's just at the Performance Center. I think they just come in and they do these matches one-offs, and it doesn't look good.
No.
Zoe Stark ended up helping Trish win. I understand getting the women on the card, but I don't think it looks good when women are being oppressed so much in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Like, I get that it's a payday, but I guess because I'm a dude, I shouldn't speak to this, but I don't understand how you go over there and put on a match as a woman when, you know, they're being oppressed so much over there. But whatever, that's just me.
Well, just look at how they have them dressed in the ring compared to the male superstars.
Right, they have to cover up their entire body. Now, right here, Macklin is loading cinder slabs, concrete slabs on PCO's back. This is a real fucking sledgehammer. And I'll talk about, but the next match was Mustafa Ali against Gunther for the IC title. They showed a lot of underdog hope for Ali, but Gunther ended up winning, as he should.
Oh!
Wham! He did not pull that. He full force went with that sledgehammer on those blocks right onto PCO's back. PCO is a fucking beast.
Yes, he is.
To take that is ridiculous. The next match, Asuka against Bianca Belair. Asuka tried to do the mist at one point, but Bianca ducked. But she still had the mist in her mouth, like the remnants of it. So she rubbed the mist in Belair's eyes to blind her, which I thought was really fucking cool. After missing it earlier, she wins the Raw title, but they're on SmackDown. Oh my God. We talked about Lesnar versus Cody already. Yep. Awesome Bloodline video package. That's one thing I can say about WWE. They do their video packages really well, which really...
Finally, they're starting to do them good again.
Right, which I don't understand. Why do we have to have that huge graphic on the video wall? It used to be so cool when they would have the video highlight packages as their Titantrons. Yes. Titantrons were the thing back then. And you have HD footage all the time now, so it's not like you can't do that.
Right.
I think these huge graphics and these, Riddle having, like, pigeons fly out and all that... I don't think it adds to it. I think the Titantrons would be better.
Yes.
Well, that's just me. The Bloodline, Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the tag titles. Heyman's intro was great as always. Sami doing his in Arabic because he is part Arab. I think he's half Arab. Was great too. Yeah, I mean, I wish they would have done subtitles so you could actually see what he said.
Right.
It's WWE, so they're fucking stupid. So.
What about Asuka and...
when Io Sky, when they did their back and forth with the Japanese, and some fan actually had to do the subtitles on like Twitter, but so you could actually see it. That was cool. Heyman's intro was great as always. It was a great slow-paced match, which is the way Roman's matches are now. They told an awesome story. The Usos turned, well, at least Jay turned on, or Jay or Jimmy. It's so hard to remember which one's which.
Jimmy. It was Jimmy.
Yeah, it was Jimmy. Ended up super kicking Roman twice. It's such a great story. It's too bad they can't do it more often with other storylines.
Right.
They do it some, like the Cody one's a good example where it's really good. But you got guys like Nakamura who are such a good in-ring wrestler that you're not doing anything with, that you could actually do a story with. The Judgment Day, they don't have a real story.
No,
I mean, the Dom and Rhea Ripley is, but you're not doing much with it anymore.
No.
It just seems like... And you've got 3 fucking hours to fill. And
you, do something with it.
Right, and I don't need to see Miz TV.
Oh,
you can do a story without...
I
don't... And I saw somebody say that, people bitched about the way the Miz used to dress, but they liked the way Seth Rollins dressed. It was never about the way Miz dressed. It was just that I didn't like the fucking Miz.
Exactly.
And the way he dressed made it look stupid. Rolling real cinder blocks into the ring.
Yeah.
Real heavy fucking cinder blocks into the ring. This match is bonkers. Steve Macklin against PCO. I can't put it over enough.
I want to get the fucking Impact Plus.
It's really good, even if just for the classic TNA content. What was it? The Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens ended up retaining the tag titles. And, yeah, I mean, Night of Champions was really good. I can't say anything bad about Night of Champions. It was really good. I think it was the best show of the weekend. I put over Impact Wrestling's Under Siege. I only watched 2 matches because I wasn't really interested in the other ones. And I don't say that very much about Impact, but this one also wasn't a pay-per-view. It was one of their special events they put on Impact Plus. Now PCO is going out and grabbing more cinder blocks because the 6 that Macklin threw in weren't enough. And they have them set up in the corner, right
where it's the hardest part of the fucking ring.
Yeah,
in the corner.
Yeah, and
besides where
Macklin's still bleeding like a son of a bitch.
He's bleeding like a fucking stuffed pig.
PCO laying Macklin on it. I forgot what I was talking about, but that's all right. If you get like I said, if you get a chance, go watch this. But right now, PCO going to the top rope, Macklin laying on real cinder blocks.
And we can't say that enough. Real people.
And Macklin gets up. Bam! Body slam off the top rope onto the cinder blocks. And then the KIA DDT onto the cinder blocks. And that gets him the win. 1, 2, 3. Steve Macklin is still your world champion. That, to me, it was just such a great match. And I don't have much left to talk about, so...
Going back to the AEW wrestling game, it looks like one of the gimmick matches is going to be a barbed wire match.
Oh, they're going to do barbed wire. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, AEW does lots of gimmick matches.
Well, the last time they actually had a barbed wire match in a wrestling game was the ECW one on the N64.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I was more into the WWF games back then than I was the ECW ones. I'll go back and play them now, but I was never really into.
But of course, yes, with the Fire Pro Wrestling, yes, they did have barbed wire matches with that. But I'm talking about like the big names.
A domestic game.
Yes,
and like the ECW games were pretty much just a port of the WWE like Raw and stuff from Acclaim. They pretty much. ECW got the Acclaim license, so they just, ported it over. Kind of like N64 games for WWF got ported from the WCW games.
Yes.
But that was cool because it had all the WCW taunts in it, which was fucking great. So right now, Macklin is calling out Scott D'Amore, the president of Impact, because Scott D'Amore said that if Macklin could win, then he would strap the belt around his waist. But I'm going to fast forward a little bit because that he does do that. But then Bully Ray comes out and attacks Scott D'Amore. And Bully Ray puts lighter fluid on the table. And they put Scott D'Amore, the president of Impact Wrestling, through a flaming table. It was really cool. I mean, Scott D'Amore's got a full suit on, so I mean, he didn't, get burnt, really by the flames. But it was a really cool look, and I'm sure Scott D'Amore will be off of TV for a while. I really like Steve Macklin as a character. We first saw him when we went to see Rebellion in Poughkeepsie. I think his character has come along great. I think he's a great heel.
Jesus Christ, the way he hit that fucking pole, though.
Oh, yeah.
In that match.
He went full force into the pole.
And you could fucking hear it.
Oh, yeah. It was right near us. You could hear it, yeah. But you got Bully Ray, talking shit, and I've always liked Bully Ray.
Fuck yeah.
Him and Velvet Sky brought Oreos when we met him, so, you can't say anything bad about that. I don't know what we're going to talk about for episode 13. I'm sure we'll talk about Money in the Bank. And, of course, video game news. I'm sure we'll review the AEW game because I'm going to get it as soon as it comes out.
Fuck yes. It's coming out at the end of this month on the 28th.
Right. The June 28th.
And I already pre-ordered it and everything.
Yep. We'll be talking about the Wrestling Classic. I'm sure we'll post videos and pictures from the Wrestling Classic.
Yes.
We can't wait for it. I kind of want to, at some point, maybe video a couple of the trivia questions that we do.
Yes.
Because I have a couple of my own, not just from the pack that I got. So I think it's going to be great. Oh, it's replaying Dragunov against Dijak. You'll have to watch the full match because we didn't really watch it, but it was really, really good. So if you're in the Northeast, I know it's only like 10 or so days away or whatever, But if you can go to the Wrestling Classic in Springfield, Massachusetts, June 17th, come and see us because it'll definitely be worth it.
I still have to say my favorite match of Dragunov is him versus Gunther for the first time.
The first one was really good. They beat the shit out of each other.
They really fucking did beat the fucking hell out of each other.
Yep.
And that was an empty arena during COVID too.
Yeah, you could really hear the chops and all that shit. Yeah, that was really cool. So check us out on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. I haven't done much with Instagram, but I'm probably going to do more when we go to the Wrestling Classic. I'll take more pictures and I'll put more on Instagram.
We got to do a little bit more with TikTok, though.
Yeah, we do need to do some more videos. I want to record some videos while we're at the Wrestling Classic too, showing off our table and do some goofy stuff. You know, actually, I think we might do the new shirts. You know, the promo that you want to do. So. Check out our merchandising.
I want to make a shirt of that for us.
Yeah. But we got shirts, we got stickers, we got phone cases, and all that. We like doing this. We have a lot of fun. Episode 13 will be coming up soon. I do have an idea for a thing to display for that one. At Cheap Pop Show on all the social media, and that is our YouTube handle. So you can just look up at Cheap Pop Show and it'll come right up. We're going to have our business cards and flyers that have our QR code so people can just scan it. We're going to have our name badges with our QR code. We showed those on it. Go back and watch some of our episodes if you want. We have 11 up already.
11.
Right. We don't do it as much as we want to, but we both work 2 jobs. Oh, I work 2 jobs. He works a job at a hospital that takes up a lot of his time, and he has a kid and a girlfriend. So, you know, we have lives, so we want to, you know, record more, but sometimes it's just not possible. Like I said, at Cheap Pop Show, all the social media, we try to engage as much as possible, but sometimes it's just, you know, we just update when we're doing things.
Yeah.
So, you got anything else?
Not really.
Okay. I'm Dave.
I'm Nick.
Thanks for checking us out at Cheap Pops.